Morning, guys. I'm just going to do a quick video about what I'm looking for this week, and then some trades from last week also. So DXY, hang on, I just need to. Cool. So DXY, we came down, and going in from last week, I said that this low didn't cause anything, so I'm pretty sure this is probably going to get taken out. So you can see we did, price came up, we failed to actually break higher. We literally just wicked this top high, and then we pretty much crashed. So this low was actually a target which I was potentially expecting. Last week we had like this break instruction here, and I was waiting for price to pull up to then come down. We didn't get that. Price actually just kind of melted off. But now we've kind of had this intermediate break. I mean, when we're looking at our structure, this is our stretch star low, low, lower high. So we're either waiting for this high or this low to actually be broken. Anything in between is all intermediate and doesn't really matter too much until you either break up or unless we're going to start breaking lower below. So what I am going to look to see is potentially if we use our fib as okay, so nothing really too crazy, to be honest. I would have liked to see my fib levels maybe around here. That doesn't mean that the price still can't come down though. But now we have had this breaker structure, I do think price could retrace to then go lower and then come higher. And then we'd have this trend line of liquidity for then price to actually continue and break out of. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And if we use a fib on the 4 hour, you can see that that pullback phase is looking quite nice to potentially our targets down here, which actually does line up quite nicely with this imbalance close. So that is what I'm going to wait to see. I did say I do want to see if this little zone is going to get broken. You can see we're actually kind of pumping through that now. So what I'm expecting is kind of basic scenarios. There's nothing really that much that needs to be tested and things down here. I mean, I'm sure they could. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so we have, I would say personally, this zone, if price is actually going to come back down and do anything, you can see we did actually have a really nice small accumulation down in here. So this is a super keen accumulation. What are we doing? An accumulation is nothing more than a manipulation of the lows, which is what we got, and then a breaker structure to the upside. So you can see this is what we got, and from there you can see all of the tests of supply. You can see this is our breaker structure that happened. This is our zone which caused that first break. Cool. We came down, test. Did we actually come in and test this last one down here? Okay, cool. I'm just shy of it, but not every time everything's going to test. It just is what it is. But I do expect price now to either continue from this point and go long, or come down slightly, take out some lows. Did this gap actually get filled? No, so this gap is still yet to be closed, and then actually start pushing up, because we've actually broke out of this 4 hourly now. Well, yeah, confirmed 4 hour break. So now I would quite like to see some sort of rotation back up into here, if not just to kind of fill some of this imbalance. So that's what I am going to be looking for this week. So dollar potential, lower time frame longs just for the shorts, and we're kind of like in the correction to then hopefully want to see that impulse. So US30, I had a couple zones. I had this zone, what I was playing out from, and then I had this high time frame zone. This high time frame supply zone is still valid for shorts, because again, if we look at our structure of our low, lower high, lower low. So the only reason why I'm not counting this is because, yes, in some cases, like this actually is, but you can see this was kind of like a fake breaker structure. And one reason why I believe that is because we had liquidity resting in here, and we actually had more liquidity resting in here, and the price actually came into a 3-day zone across the top. So that is why I don't really count. It is a swing point, obviously, but this is why I'm not really looking at it too much as a swing. I'd rather use this whole kind of move as my swing. So well, lower high, lower low, looking for that lower high to then come down into that lower low, because we still have these Asian lows that need to be taken. Well, they don't need to be, but I'd like to see them get taken. And we do have this weekly supplies, weekly demand zone, which I could kind of see. So maybe if we're looking at, here we go. So this pullback phase was 467. Wait, sorry, let me look at that in percent. Yeah, so 15.5% pullback. And again, we're 15.3. So any kind of where within this zone is kind of looking quite nice. And now a lot of people would have been looking to sell off this. I wasn't looking to sell off this, but this definitely was a POI. And I feel like the banks kind of knew this, and which is why they manipulated or liquidated that area. And equally, that just means there's higher targets to actually be met. So we've come in, we've tested that higher time frame zone, but we do still have a couple lower time frame zones, which I do actually think could potentially get tested. We've got an hourly, we've got 4 hour, and then we have this hourly zone as well. You can see again, really nice distribution. The distribution is what? The distribution is a manipulation of the highs and then a broker structure to the upside. So we have a really nice distribution in this zone. So looking for price to come back anywhere a little bit deeper into here. One reason why I do think we could probably dig a bit deeper is because we have a hell of a gap resting in here, and I'm pretty sure that price is going to want to come up and fill this gap at some point. Whether this is going to be right now, I don't know, but we could definitely see some sort of pullbacks in from this zone anywhere into the 50%. Cool. 50%. Looking at this zone, this is my first POI because this is the first POI which is actually within the equilibrium of this whole range. You can see really nice broker structure here. And now just kind of waiting and continuing the momentum and following price just continue high. You can see already we've got a really nice batch of liquidity resting above all of these highs. I'm not really sure what the news is saying this week, but we will have a look. And we do have another small zone on a 15-minute all the way down here. You can see, which is at our fib levels, really nice. So I will have a look at these two levels of interest. First one, second one. And like, what is it that I'm actually waiting for in these zones? I'm literally just waiting for lower time frame accumulations and distributions. When, if prices come into here, I want to be seeing the lows get manipulated, then this breaker structure and continuation, or I want to be seeing kind of a sell to buy movement with a clean break of structure, look to get back in on some smaller levels and continue higher. Even if price does kind of start breaking below this, as soon as price is shifting structures, because our momentum is bullish, we're not bearish, this is still going to give me like some incentive. Now we do have some imbalance in here. We have some imbalance in here with an order which is looking really nice. How many pips is that? So that's about 9 pips, amazing. And the second POI is 17 pips, cool. So I am going to be looking for US30 potential longs if price doesn't want to come down into my zones and actually give me something to play with. But if not, I'm just going to sit and wait on my hands and see what happens. Even potential nice sells this morning. You can see EMA is crossing quite nicely. We have this nice supply zone here. Could see that pullback and then a continuation. So that's US30. I'm waiting for this gap to be filled, and I do want to see longs off either 32.48, or I do want to see if price is going to come down a little bit deeper into 32.90, around that, for continuations for longs. Gold almost came up and hit my order, which was really, would have been so nice, and we were so close to it so far, 55 pips away. So this is a real shame, but again, is what it is. You can't help it. So from there, price was just continuing lower. We did actually have a breaker structure here. Price came down. We had another breaker structure here. So this is the zone that I was kind of looking for price to invalidate. You can see we had all of this, even though we didn't actually test that 30-minute, which is what I wanted. We did actually still come in and test the hourly open, which is here. So in reality, it is still valid. That's just, I wanted to have a tighter order just because of the RR. But you can see we did actually follow a lot of the mitigation trails in this pair. You can see we manipulated, price came up, we tested in here. I don't think we came up and tested the close of that imbalance, did we? No, we didn't. But if we take this whole zone, you can see prices came in and tested the 50% of this whole big move. You can see people, banks are mitigating around the 50%. That's really, really nice to see. And after that, this is when you get your confirmed breaker structure. Looking for the area that caused that break, you can see prices in here. And if we go take this zone again, you can see price came all about. We just swept the high of it, but it's still valid because we're actually using this whole zone which mitigated off of this zone. And then you can see just dropping it down, everything is just lining up really, really nice just for continuations lower. So with the idea that we have a nice supply and demand flip and supply is quite in control within this current point, we do have another demand invalidation down here, which is again nice to see. Take that across, you can see prices confirmedly broken below it, but the time being I'm just going to focus on this one because it's just a little bit messy on my screen. So you can see really nice 4-hourly zone that I'm waiting to see get triggered. There is a really nice 5-minute zone as well. Nope. Yep. So really nice 30-minute zone as well. Nice Marabuzu candle, which is what I was waiting for price to come into. So this is my zones for sells back down into here, where they're actually going to continue lower because obviously this is where we first broke. But we have just been breaking and flipping in things. So we do have some lows and we do have this London low. You can see 8 AM London low. So I do want to see if that is probably going to get taken and continue lower. I do want to potentially see if we can get 1600 get met. So that is gold overall shorts. Well, you could potentially catch longs on this, to be fair. That's still going to be a pretty decent move, even just from these highs. Yeah, so it's about 150 pip moves. That's still pretty decent. But what I definitely would be waiting for is we've now confirmed break this. So if we invalidate the supply, this is then when I'll be looking for pullbacks to then go long into this zone, looking for the distributions and then the sells. But I'm not going to rush anything. I'm just going to sit and wait. This is going to be like the nicest zone for me though. AU really, really clean sells last week. I'm actually still in these running 5R at the moment, so around just under 100, just over 100 pips. My target is around 200-ish. So we came into where price had previously come into a 15-minute that swept this previous liquidity. You can see we had a really, really nice 4-hourly demand zone. This is our break structure, looking for the area that caused that break. You can see price came up. We came into this zone, and from this zone, you can see price created a really, really nice distribution for us to be trading off. Distribution is nothing more than a manipulation of the highs and then a breaker structure to the downside, which is what we got. Now, this didn't actually test the exact point that I was looking for, but I use MetaTrader on my laptop, and sometimes, if depending on the time frame, when I place orders, I usually just put them slightly below where I'm actually looking for this exact point. I only ever put them not even a pip, a little bit lower. So how much is that? Yeah, so 0.7 of a pip. So I have got this order on at the moment, but this was one reason why I do, if I'm placing orders, I do just put them a little bit slightly below just because of spreads. And it's happened to me before when you'll have something like exactly there, and obviously price just misses it, and it's like it's just really frustrating when it happens. So I usually just put my orders just slightly lower from zones, and I don't know why, but whenever I'm actually um in a trade or something like that, I don't know if this ever happens on your MetaTrader. If I place an order here, sometimes when it triggers, it actually like bumps my order up like just like the smallest amount. It's really strange. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but it's happened to me quite a few times. So AU again, you can see really nice distribution from this zone. And again, kind of I'm assuming just what everyone else is looking for really is just waiting for the price to come back into this 4 hourly zone and give me continuation back lower. High time frame, we have came in and tested our high time frame zone, but we do have other zones lower down, which I do think potentially could get met. And if we're really looking at it, these lows aren't really looking the nicest. If we're going to be honest, we still have this further low, which whether we're going to break through to then go, I'm not too sure, but I do want to see if we could probably just take out these lows. We are overall bearish anyway. So yeah, continuations long, and then sorry, looking for the pullback for longs to then actually go into like bigger shorts. But I mean, you probably still could trade these. I mean, I don't really like to as much now just because I'd rather wait for the whole move, but that's still a 40 to 50 pip move. So that's still easily a 1 to 10 or higher on some pairs. What else am I got? Euro pound. Euro pound, nothing really too exciting for me, to be fair. Again, I'm sure everyone's just been looking off of this zone, which is fair enough. There was actually really nice sells last week. Off here, I think it was off a 15-minute or 30-minute. Yeah, yeah. So really nice 15-minute zone. You can see we had the impulse correction and then impulse again, and then it was just nothing more than continuations lower. What would it been? Really nice. Oh, 1 to 700 pip. Really nice. Really nice trade. So I do want to see obviously price continue lower because we do have weekly zones, which I'm personally waiting for. Whether price is actually gonna continue just with this really nice like short move, I don't know. I would not be surprised if price ran potentially one more time to the high, but with flat lows like these is not giving me that much conviction. You can see flat lows and then we ran it. We have liquidity, oops, we have liquidity all in here. We have flat lows in here. So I'm just going to wait and see. I do have other pairs which for me are looking a little bit nicer. But let's see what happens this week. This is only Monday, so the market can always develop and changed. So we will keep everyone updated. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away, and I will help you as much as I can. All right, guys. Bye. What is going on, mate?